Hey guys, NEGP Ninja, and here with me is two angry midgets.
Hey guys.
Today we are doing the co-op mission, Fire from the Sky, and we're also getting the achievement Untouchable, which is to complete the mission without using the fire extinguisher, which basically, when you get shot, your helicopter will start flaming, but what we notice is, gradually over time, you can heal yourself without having to even use the fire extinguisher.
Here, this mission took us like 20 different tries. Like, we had to practice flying and stuff. This was my screen, and, you get two different weapons. You get, like a railgun, and then like a laser guided missile. Here, I was just shooting the buildings.
Well, I just want to say, this mission sucked. Like, I came in, like, I thought, you know what, maybe we'll both be gunning and there'll be a pilot and we'll just have to shoot some stuff down. No big deal. But not only do you have to be decent at flying, but you have to have a decent gunner because, like right here, Keith is like, I don't know, I think you're trying to shoot cars, which, I mean, maybe you're not honestly trying, but, you know, if you don't kill the target, your men will die. And it's kind of...
You need your men alive.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous because, well, we were playing on
Easy.
Yeah, we were doing this on easy just to get it done because we couldn't even do it on anything else without dying in like the first minute.
The thing that I found to be really frustrating was sometimes like you're about to shoot or you're locked on with a laser missile, and then your pilot ends up moving a little bit, and it throws it all off. But it ends up being all right in the end.
Yeah. The thing is, like, there are parts you get. I think there are a couple enemies. The BMPs, which are like tanks, they'll shoot you occasionally and they'll do a little bit of damage. Nothing really to worry about. But you'll see mobile. I think they're AA guns or mobile.
Yeah, mobile AA.
They suck. They will kill you if you don't take them out soon enough. I remember some parts I was yelling at Keith. I was like, shoot him, shoot him, shoot him, shoot him. And like he would shoot like a missile because there are two guns. I'll let you explain in a minute.
Yeah.
There are two guns that the helicopter can use. I mean, the pilot, I could have used rockets, but the problem was every time I try to like tilt down and aim, I just do a nosedive and go right into the ground. We'd blow up. So I just didn't do any shooting at all.
And what the screen that you just saw, the black and white right here, that is I think it was called night vision, which is kind of a weird name because it should be called like thermal. But it's basically what it is. It's thermal. Your enemies show up like white. Well, and your guys too, but there's a little beacon over them.
Yeah. The thing to watch out though is, if there's a guy, say an RPG guy on the roof, and you shoot the roof, it'll cave in. He lives, you know, that happened to us 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And you'll have to like fly over and get the perfect angle and shoot in. It's really annoying. I mean, right there you saw a body just fall in. Now, usually a guy will fall in and he'll live. But like the guys, your AI teammates, they kind of just run out into the field and they don't really help you that much. So if you don't take out the enemies quick enough, like I said, they will die. And we're playing on easy. And right here, I got a little too close to the ground. And you really, if you get too close, the RPG guys can hit you. We didn't have that problem, but an RPG skimmed us, and that was close enough for me. And like right now I'm trying to get low and trying to shoot, but at the same time Keith is like, get up, I can't take a shot. And it's best just to stay up if you're not a very good driver for the helicopter. I just recommend, it took us 2 or 3 tries to get, like, for one person to get good at shooting, the other to get good at driving. So if you're not good at driving, just fool around with the controls, and eventually you will be able to get the hang of it. Like right now I'm not too great, I'm kind of just flying in circles, but Keith was a good gunner, and it did help. If you don't have a good gunner, I'm gonna say both parts are equally important. I mean, you can't just be really good at flying and then have a terrible gunner, because your men will die and you need to pick off the enemies quickly.
Yeah, so right here, that one RPG guy was giving me a really tough time, but yeah, the RPG guys, you can shoot the roof underneath them like I did right there, and he falls right. Yeah, so right here, that one RPG guy was giving me a really tough time, but yeah, the RPG guys, you can shoot the roof underneath him like I did right there, and he falls right through and dies. But what you want to make sure, see that, you can kind of see it, it's like a square around like the, I guess you'd call it your reticle, maybe, your sight, whatever. That is the laser guided missile, and those do not work until you can lock onto something.
Yeah, we had a problem with that. Not only is it takes forever to reload. First of all, like he would just be like, "Oh my gosh, it's taking forever," but he'd shoot one, and I'd be flying over the BMP or the mobile AA, and I'd see it get hit, but it wouldn't blow up. So it takes a couple shots sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't even hit, even though it locks on. So it isn't that easy to control. And the machine gun, it will do damage to both, but also the missile is it's a lot stronger than the machine gun, and it's just very inconvenient to use when you're in a rush and you're getting shot at by the mobile A's.
Yeah, here I'm pretty sure, yep, on this side it says use the laser guided missile. Here I'm trying to lock onto that BMP. You'll see another BMP come out from the back. But, yeah, you can see you gotta, like, you can look down the bottom right. It takes forever to reload, even though I kept pressing the X button. And I'd lock on thinking it would work, and then finally it would eventually reload. But yeah, Garrett would just be yelling at me, like, come on, shoot it, and there was no way I could do it.
Yeah, I was trying to. Oh, well, that time it actually got hit, but I was trying to hover over, but at the same time, hovering is probably the worst thing you can do on this mission, because you'll just keep getting hit, and that's when your plane or your helicopter will catch on fire. And you know, I thought it was odd. We got to the point where our helicopter was smoking 3 or 4 times, but the thing was, um, it. I guess your helicopter regains health over time.
Yeah, or
I
at
don't
least
know.
the fire kind of goes away, which may
Yeah,
or may
it
not
just
give
goes
you
away.
more
Like,
health.
I don't know if there's like a fire blanket in the cockpit. I don't know. Whatever they do, but it goes away, and I don't know. It's helpful because I was like scared. I was like, Keith, we're screwed. And it was like we've been playing it for 20 minutes. We're so far, and we're on fire. And I was like, we are so screwed. And then all of a sudden, it just went away. And I was like, oh well. I mean, it's pretty helpful. I mean, if you're getting shot at and you're smoking, and then you kind of just fly away for a couple seconds just to regain a little bit of health, then you can go back over and try taking him out again. And that is probably the best thing to do if you're smoking, so you don't get shot, because you're not only do you have to probably defend your men. It takes them forever to get to the place where they have to storm the building, but I think they also have to leave at one point, and then you have to like take out 3 mobile AAs before the helicopters can land to pick them up, and that's when it ends. But
Yeah,
that's not till
and
part 2.
by the time we got to, it took us forever to take out this one mobile AA, and then we finally got it done. We're like, yes, we're in the clear. This has got to be the end. And then we fly to where the extraction point is, and we got 2 BMPs and 1 mobile AA. And we're like, okay, no way we can do this. And I think I fired maybe like 2 or 3 shots, and it was like amazing, and it destroyed it pretty easily actually, which was very, very nice.
Yeah, I at points I got so desperate I actually tried firing missiles.
And right now we just defeated all those enemies, and they're now advancing. And coming up right here, there's gonna be 2 BMPs and 1 mobile AA. And that was like our first experience with the mobile AA, and it was really tough to take out. So we'll just like sit back and watch, and you guys can watch, and you can see how tough this really was to take out. Yeah, and right here, I was actually desperate enough to try using the machine gun on those, even though it doesn't do very much damage. But I was just waiting for it to reload, and I mean, it's better than just letting yourself get beat up.
Yeah, it's actually pretty effective. You will get a couple hit markers, and it's not gonna really take it out in a couple of hits, but because, well, basically I'm trying to fly around. Like at this point, I think I was smoking, and I'm trying to fly around them. And probably the easiest way to avoid getting shot is actually, first of all, flying in third person, because I felt like it was a lot easier to control the helicopter because you could see what what the movements were for it. Like, for first person, I felt like I think I'd be flying forward, and then all suddenly I just see myself do a nosedive into the ground. So I think it's easier in third person to try to avoid getting shot at.
I'd also want to let you guys know that there's no way of controlling who ends up being the gunner and who ends up being the pilot. We actually had to like try restarting and quitting to get it so he would be the pilot and I would be the gunner, just because we found that he was definitely a better pilot than I was, and I guess I was a better gunner. I'm not really sure if we discovered that one or not, but
Yeah, I don't think it was established, but I definitely think that, I don't know, I think I kind of just wanted to learn how to fly the helicopter, and I was determined to actually fly it and not crash into the mountains, because one time we were like 10 minutes into it, and I remember I crashed in the mountain, and I just heard Keith go, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't. And at that point, Keith is like, let's do this tomorrow. I'm done this. Like, that was probably like our 20th attempt, and I mean, I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if I'm slow at picking up how to fly this helicopter, but it's not easy. I mean, flying the jet in the multiplayer is extremely hard. I don't even know how to fly that, but let alone the helicopter.
yeah, and also with this, like, you get so far, and then one little mistake turns into a nosedive, which turns into just death. And then there's no checkpoint, so you restart from the beginning. And then by that time, you're pretty good at it, so you can catch back up, but, yeah. So usually it end up working out alright.
Yeah, a thing that I kind of don't like is when you're a little bit, when you're kind of, tilted to the left or the right, your helicopter will actually start flying that direction. It'll stop going forward and it will go to the left or the right depending on which way you're tilting, which, I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory, and I probably should have known that, but that's how I kind of flew them out. I kind of went to first person to try to shoot the rockets, and I was not aware that we were turning sideways, and when I went back in third person I saw it, and by that time it was too late to try to maneuver out of it, and we crashed to the mountain. So, like I said, it's recommended to flying third person if you are new to flying the helicopters in this game and you're not very experienced.
Yeah, and what I found with when I was stuck flying it, is like you have to make sure you keep it like flat and straight. Like, it's very hard to turn without like tipping, and then when you do tip, you like over exaggerate to tip it back, and you just like completely flip right over.
Yeah, it's, I believe my third time I tried, I flipped the helicopter, and from there on, I was just like, Keith, restart the mission, because in a matter of seconds we crashed and we blew up. And it definitely, after beating this though, it is satisfying to be like, finally, like, this was one of the most annoying missions I've ever had to play through, and I love co-op campaign. There's so many games, like, I love playing any co-op campaign. I don't know why, it's just playing with other people, but I hated this. Like, this mission just made me hate it. And I don't know, I think that's saying something, considering whenever there's a game with co-op, I get all excited and like, are you getting this game? And it definitely is really rewarding to get the achievement for not using the fire extinguisher and to beat it, because it just takes so long.
Yeah, it's also very like you definitely want to use the fire extinguisher to ensure that you will not die, but when you don't, it makes you kind of proud of yourself.
And if you want to see part 2, just click on the screen and we'll have it up.